Yeah.
Or just
Yeah, fair. It's a little weird. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll get started in the room and please raise your hand on Zoom as well. If you have a question, we'll do our best to get to everyone. We'll go with a question each. Get started with Jeff.
Sure, Coach, as a player, I used to read this the other night, but this was requires an update, the third game in a row with Liberty haven't had a +10 advantage on the scoreboard in the fourth quarter. In your opinion, what's been the difference for this team in terms of closing?
I think the chemistry that we built last year and the experiences that we had helps us now. And, you know, we settle down, our defense goes to another level. I think our connections even go to another level, regardless of what happens in those other quarters. So I felt confident going in and, you know, we just went to another level. And I think that's the ability that, you know, really good teams have.
Alexa?
Sandy and Sabrina, you want to comment on it? It looks like Sabrina scored or assisted on 18 points in the final 8:30 of the fourth. So what did you see from her in particular that allowed her to take over? And Sabrina, what, from your perspective, how did that unfold?
Well, she benched me after a turnover and I got mad. So I knew I just had to make better decisions. You know, understanding my legs were a little heavy and I was, you know, usually make shots that I missed some of those tonight and just was trying to find different ways to get my teammates open. And coming off being a shooting threat, it just allowed me to be able to find, you know, beat cutting downhill, JJ spacing for a three, Stewie in the corner for a three when we needed it. So I think it was just staying patient, but definitely lit a fire up inside me a little bit and came out and we just had to settle down and execute.
Yeah, we just play with a little bit more poise. I think we got frantic there for a while with how they're blowing stuff up, and we'll try and, you know, we weren't moving the ball as crisply as much as we would like to, and it didn't change. I still put the ball in her hands with the action, and she made really good reads, and she was able to score. But that opened up, and then we were able to get some easy baskets too. And you know, obviously JJ was great in knocking down those threes.
Jack.
Yes, speaking of JJ and knocking down those threes, JJ, you talked about in the beginning of the season how the team's spacing needed to improve. So I'm just curious, looking at today, that is a strange noise, how you'd say the team's spacing has improved since the beginning. And it wasn't just you hitting those threes, it was so much off-ball movement, like Sabrina and B cutting. So how do you think that's improved?
Yeah, I think we've done a better job. We kind of tweaked some things a little bit, and it allows players like B and Sabrina to kind of just get downhill and be able to have the space that they need to be successful, but also being able to hit cutters, like you said, and allow them to do their thing. So I think it's definitely improved, and you know, it's going to help us move forward.
And Sandy, for you, B put up close to triple-double numbers this afternoon. You know, I'm just curious how you've seen her grow as a passer and a communicator on the offensive side.
Yeah, look, I think B's been so valuable for us, all season long, and it just shows you the skill set that she does have. Yes, she's a great defender. She usually has to guard the best player on the other team. You know, she can shoot. We're trying to put her in a little bit more isolation, so when we can get, you know, opportunities for her to get downhill. But she's also a really good pick and roll player. And now, I suppose with Sluty out, it has allowed us to put the ball in her hands a little bit more, especially, you know, we didn't want Sabrina to have the load of being the point guard. And it was a good mix up for us. And, you know, B was, you know, big for us and continues to be big for us.
I don't know, in the second quarter, Sandy was sort of motioning you guys to sort of relax down a little bit, asking the game to run run. How do you think you guys would be able to sort of regain your bearings and sort of get back into the game and really sort of open the offense in the second half?
I think we just have to slow down. We're at our best when we're moving the ball. You know, not taking shots too quickly, just allowing the ball to get from side to side. And when you're playing against a defense like Connecticut's, you have to make them move because they load everything up and they kind of force you to make those extra passes. So once you're making them move and you kind of tire them out a little bit, things open up a little bit more for you. Sure.
Hey, Zach, I noticed in the beginning of the game, you know, how do you think this kind of opened up more opportunities for the teammates on the road to kind of help you kind of attack a little bit more down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I think it opened up everything. You know, obviously when there's two on the ball trapping, particularly even as high up on the floor as they were, I mean, JJ get wide open layup. We were able to just understand what we needed to do getting out of it. There's two on the ball, someone's open. And so I think it's just making sure that we're making the right decisions, staying poised, understanding, you know, what it is we're trying to exploit when that happens and not letting that speed us up and make ill-advised decisions.
We'll go over to Zoom, starting with Miles.
Hi all, congratulations on the win. Jonquel, there was a stretch in that third quarter where it felt like the game was starting to get away from you guys, and then you had multiple buckets, a couple of blocks leading to scores on the other end. What was your mentality there in terms of just keeping the team close and both attacking the rim and also knocking down some shots from outside?
Yeah, just staying cool and boys, understanding that, there's runs in basketball and teams are gonna be able to do things that kind of exploit us a little bit, but we have to understand that we can make our runs too. So I think that was the biggest thing, not getting too high, not getting too low, and just staying in the game.
We'll go to Alfred.
Hi, to piggyback off of that question from Miles, Jonquel was everywhere tonight, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks. First time a Liberty player's done that. Just how important is it to have a big that's versatile as Jonquel Jones in your lineup nightly?
Is that for me?
That can be for anybody.
Oh, okay, I mean, I'll start. I mean, it's a wonderful luxury to have someone like JJ on our team, and she does, like, it's a bit like B, she does so much. But just the way that she can keep saying anchor, I've said that a few times now. She anchors our defense close to the rim and her ability to change shots and rebound, but also get inside and make those big threes. And they were congesting us a fair bit, so we're trying to space them as much as we can. And that's a big time player making big time shots, and she brings so much. And some days, it might be harder for us. We have to try and get the ball in a little bit more, but she stays really, as poised as she can, but knowing that how she can help us. So it's fun to watch, and we're lucky to have her.
Thank you.
Fiji?
Hey JJ, good game today. Today's matchup kind of felt like the matchups against Connecticut last year in the postseason, where a lot of the games went down to the single digits. Difference today, they have Brianna Jones, who missed the second half of the season. Just what did you see from her, and how did her addition to today's game kind of different the matchup?
I think last year we kind of had like a definite advantage in the post because of the size and everything, and we knew that we could kind of just go in there and really exploit it. But Reese coming back in gives them a bigger body, someone that can bang more in the post, and someone that's more comfortable down there. So we knew that we wanted to kind of just make her move a little bit more. I kind of use her being on the court to just congest the floor a little bit with her and AT both being out there. But ultimately, we still felt good going into the matchup tonight.
Thank you.
We'll go to Lucas.
Congrats on the win. My question is for JJ. When you're operating and really moving the offense from the top of the arc as opposed to operating from the post, how comfortable, I guess, how have you seen your decision making grown from year to year, because you're really affecting, where the ball's going, what side of the floor, things like that?
I think decision making has been good. Just trying to keep the game as simple as possible. Someone's open, give them the ball. Sabrina's coming off a pin down, give her the ball. So really just keeping it simple, not overthinking it. And I think the next area of growth will be just kind of when teams pressure me, just being able to get downhill and go past them so that I can keep them honest, because it gets a little bit frantic up there. But yeah, I think my decision making so far has been good.
Thank you.
We have a few more in the room.
By the way, Sun finished 1 through 16 national budget, as we talk about your defense. Thank you. Question is actually unrelated, but I know it's early in the season, but do you guys feel like this is a statement of sorts when you're taking down an undefeated team, coming through with a big win after some of the ups and downs so far, or you just focus on kind of each game?
I mean, I feel like we had every excuse in the book to come in today, saying we're tired, our legs are heavy, we've had all these games, we got a back-to-back tomorrow. There was so many excuses that we could have had coming into this game with, just wanting to not come out and compete and understand, what the task at hand was. And we didn't do that. We understood this was a huge game for us, a statement game. They're undefeated. It's huge for the Commissioner Cup. And so we came in here regardless of how ugly the game was looking, how kind of sloppy it was at times. We just stayed poised and played our style of basketball. And I think it's a testament to us. It shows that no matter what adversity we're facing, how we're feeling, we can come out and compete with the best teams in the league. And so I think it's growth for us. I don't know if we would have done this last year. I think we could have potentially been a game we might have lost here. And I think for us to be able to show up here and do what we did, have everyone contribute off the bench, the starters, is huge for us.
Coach, I have a question for you. I want to talk about the game the National League Hamilton played today. She picked up her third foul, I believe, with 5:26 to go in the second quarter, but didn't pick up another foul after that. You said before the game, I'm not worried about AT. We had the best player in the game. We had a National League stuff. What can you say about the way she cracked down in the second half today? And did so in a physical, but yet, for lack of a better term, legal way?
Yeah, I mean, she keeps amazing me every single day. BO actually was going to take her out. She went, no, I'm good. And I trust her 100%. I know, okay, she knows it because that's how smart she is. She reads things before. She was using her body. She just sees things happen before they happen. But look, it was, a thing of beauty for her to just continue to grind away, putting the ball in her hand, making those decisions when we need it. And, it's hard work playing defense and chasing one of the best players and getting over screens and then having to switch on to AT, who's so physical. But she never backs down. And, she's just really tough-minded, and it was great to see her game continue to evolve with us.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
We'll finish with Brian.
You had like it felt like there was a lot less hesitation. She was more sort of she was in one court. What did you think of her game, and how, I guess, for the entire group, how confident are you that you could be for out for the really big?
Yeah, I think I showed that I'm really confident in her. She is, she's a big time player over in Europe. People probably don't know her game as well. She's a 3-point shooter. We wanted her to shoot them, but she's very active. She's getting on the boards, and we saw last game what happened. But she's not afraid at the moment because she's had the experience in big time games. But she went downhill. We want her to play her game, and she's getting more comfortable. It takes time for a new player just to come in and establish how they play, because those players have to get used to her as well. So it's not, it's twofold here. So we have a lot of confidence in her, and it's fun to watch her just go out and play.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.